Okay, so in the news, looks like a teacher was pepper sprayed by a student after taking her phone away. You might have seen it; it was all over the news. So this actually, and then this actually begs the question: should teachers be allowed to take students' phones away? Because I didn't know this, but supposedly a lot of schools now have a policy in place where no faculty member is allowed to take a kid's phone.
I believe that's probably something now, yeah.
Period.
Well, you don't want to keep kids safe in school.
Mm-hmm.
Can't take their phones away.
I think most of them are just like keep it put away.
Yeah. I think I kind
So
of
the teacher got pepper sprayed by the student.
by the student. Yeah. So that wasn't right. I'm not saying that
I think
was.
the student probably face consequences for that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I don't think anyone's debating that. Definitely. But then a lot of people were saying like, well, this kind of created a bigger problem than what needed to be, or like if you would just let that person keep their phone, because if they're not paying attention, if they're not doing what they need to do, it's just going to reflect on their test score. That's on them.
I was like, can't the teacher just like kick them out of the classroom, send them to the principal's office,
Yeah.
and then they get in trouble, and then they end up not on their phone?
No, I think they do. I think that part of what maybe needs to be reevaluated. You ever it's hard to the line of how things work. Like a lot of places, if someone is if they're not listening, they're like, all right, well that's fine. Like, and then they kind of defer that up the chain to like some administrator, like so and so is not cooperating with my instructions.
Mhm.
They all affect each other anyway.
Yeah.
They're like, well then. And then, like, some school resource officer and some administrator will be there in a few minutes. I'm like, you
Yeah.
can keep doing that. It's fine if you're not going to listen.
Right.
And I think that problem, because that system is used in a lot of places. Like if someone was here, wouldn't leave, like, I'm probably not going to get an altercation. I'd probably just say, well, call the cops and hang out until they get here.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably
Mm-hmm.
what should be done. It probably is done in a lot of these places.
Yeah.
Like if someone's not cooperative,
Yeah, because I just feel like over one
that's someone else's problem.
over one
Let someone else
student
deal with that.
being on their phone, I feel like it's not worth the hostility. Yeah, like I just feel like okay, that's on them. If they don't want to pay attention, okay, fine. They're going. That's on them if they get a failing grade. But like, it doesn't make sense to disrupt the entire class just because this person wants to make a scene, or two people want to make a scene over a cell phone.
That might be easy for us to say since
Yeah.
we don't deal with that kid or that class on a daily basis. What if it is a daily occurrence and then they're always on their phone, never paying attention, and then this teacher
Yeah.
who was just like, this is what I do for a job, and then these kids just don't care, I'd probably get upset after a while too.
And it's probably not just
It's
one.
probably not just as easy as
Mhm.
I'm just going to ignore that kid for today, for that
Yeah.
class. It's probably not that easy. So I don't know.
Wouldn't that be? What do you think about what I said about something like that?
That's like a normal answer.
That'd be like what you would expect, right?
Yeah.
If you're not
I was
going to
like, they
cooperate,
could
that's
still
fine.
do
What
that.
if
There's
what
a
if the kids
consequence.
don't have, or if the school doesn't have the resources? What if they don't have that kind of?
That's where it's
What if it is
tough.
just a principal, a
teacher?
superintendent, and then like my high school, granted we were small, we only had one counselor.
I would say that
I'm just saying it might not be.
I think some have different resources. You're absolutely right, but I think I would say upwards of 90% of all schools have some sort of system that can work. In that, small schools, you need fewer things, and that's true. Whatever ratio type thing might exist, but I bet there's like an AP or a principal that you end up dealing with disciplinary type stuff, and that's kind of what you sign up for when you become on the administration side. And a lot of them have like a cop or a school resource officer or some sort of security type personnel. They probably vary based on size.
Yeah.
Something like, but I bet most have something like that. I would say upwards of 90%.
You're probably right, but
Yeah, I don't know. I can just see why. Okay, because then you got to deal with like the parents, because the parents also are probably complaining to the teachers that they had their phone taken away and they couldn't get it back, but they needed it to get a hold of somebody after school and stuff like that. Like I can see it just becomes a constant back and forth with the student and the parents, and it's like
I get kids needing their phone for safety reasons at
Yeah.
times, but it's like if you're in class you have no reason to be on your phone. Like,
Yeah.
and I know I would like it. There were points where I would pull out my phone in class, and it was like, just because I felt like we weren't really doing anything in class, but like, like, if you are in school, there's no reason to be on your phone. Like in class, like you know the times in between classes or during lunch or when you can be on your phone and do the things you need to do with them. It's just people are addicted to their phones.
Yeah.
Do you think a person that would pepper spray a teacher really has any care?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's true too. They're
Yeah.
they want their
Yeah. That's why I'm like, man, like I don't know. I don't want to get pepper sprayed over the phone. And I know that's probably a very
It's probably the last thing you expect from a student.
yeah. Right. But honestly, though, if I'm the teacher, I'm like, okay, put your phones away. You don't want to put your phone away? Okay, I'm gonna send you to the office, and then you don't cooperate at the office, then they can call your parents, and then if your parents don't care, then we have bigger issues. Hopefully, it doesn't come to that.
I was like, then the teacher is getting irritated, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
You just pass that buck though.
Yeah.
I just feel like
If they're
that's
not going to listen, then we'll bring an administrator.
I feel like that's just the life of a teacher, man. You're going to deal with some misbehaving students that are just not going to listen a lot of the time. And
I feel like getting your phone taken away in school
yeah.
isn't even like I know when we were in school it happened and
Mhm.
they didn't even take it, they didn't keep it. You got to pick it up either at the end
Yeah.
of class
Yeah.
or at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Did you guys know back in my day in high school how it worked with that stuff? This dates me, right? So I was in high school from 97 to 2001, right? And back then, cell phones were around like Zach Morris phone. It was pretty rare, but pagers were all the rage. But if you got caught with a pager, you were expelled immediately because everyone assumed you were dealing drugs. Because it's the only person who was a teenager that had a pager.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Times have changed since then.
Yeah,
Long
it
time
has
ago.
changed. I say, like, yeah, when I was in high school, we didn't have smartphones. We just had the regular, either the Nokia or the flip phones. And the only thing you really did on it was text. That was all you did. And that was like
T9.
yeah, you shoot a text real quick underneath the
I
desk.
remember the T9.
Yeah, underneath
I
the
got good at it, got fast at it.
You get better, yeah. Practice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only. So we didn't have smartphones. Like, we didn't have Twitter or Reddit or TikTok to just constantly, like, scroll down and stuff. So I don't know. But I don't know. I think it just creates a lot of drama than it's worth. But I don't know.
I think that
There'll always be something.
Yeah.
the student made a bad choice, and I think the teacher did too.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
think there's disciplinary type stuff a little bit.
Mhm.
Pass that up the chain somewhere else. Someone else
Right.
deal with that.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Because, like, okay, yeah, because you're upset with that student for not paying attention in class or whatever. So in turn, you cause a scene, which
Now, I
distracts everybody.
haven't seen the video. So did the student so the teacher give me your phone?
Mhm.
Did the teacher take it from their hand, or do they give
That
it
I don't
walk
know.
up there? Here you go.
That
take
I
this
don't
student.
know. He just has it shows him walking out into the hallway with her phone, and she's going after him, and he's just standing there, and she just comes up behind him and just boom shoots the pepper spray, and then she tries to grab her phone back, but he
I do wonder how. I put a video too of whatever happened inside the room, because how he got it, I think, is relevant to the context of the behavior. We're like, no, you're not having that. Just rip it out of somebody's hand.
No one's gonna.
That would also just gonna escalate things. It's a de-escalate.
Yeah, I agree. The way you go about it definitely matters, because you're going to be aggressive.
Because if he has it, the
Mhm.
student either gave it to him or he took it. It's
Right.
not like there was, and it might have been back and forth in the room in some way.
Right.
He said, give me your phone."
Like,
Did the student comply and then chase after him? Or
yeah, no warnings. Or no warnings given whatsoever. It was just like a
right?
straight up.
That makes a difference.
It doesn't sound like it was a civil buildup to the pepper spray.
That doesn't seem like a logical step.
Yeah, I was just really surprised to see a lot of people commenting saying that at their schools that they teach at, that they have a a policy where they're not allowed to touch phones. You can't
I think most schools have keep it put away. That's
Yeah.
the general
They say,
policy.
but their policy was the faculty was not allowed to take away phones. Like, that was off limits.
They probably got in trouble with one kid and one parent made a deal about it, and it became the rule.
Right. I don't know. And also, I mean, phones are now pretty essential now. It seems like everyone just has to have the phone. It's like we can't breathe without our phones for.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's ridiculous. But I don't know.
I want to see what happened. I want to see how this teacher got the phone.
Yeah.
I think without knowing that, it's hard to know
Mm-hmm.
the context. Context
Yeah.
seems like that matters.
That's a good question.
Just put shock collars on the kids. Just buzz them when they whip out their phones.
There's probably some
Yeah.
Geneva Convention law there and stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I get it. These teachers are held accountable for for the grades of the students and stuff like that. But at what point do you make the students responsible for their own grades and have to put in their own effort? Like, they gotta match the effort that the teacher is.
I think that. So the strange thing about that is, I think I'm the only one in here that went and completed 4 years of college, right? So the strange thing about that is you notice a huge difference, like all the way through high school.
Mhm.
It's kind of like the teacher like, do the work, do the work, do the work,
College.
and then you get to college and like, fine. Like, they don't even care if you don't do the work or not.
Yeah.
And I remember it was very strange making that jump because you're so used to. And I did most of the work in high school. I always did enough, but I saw others that didn't, and it was so strange. Like, you haven't done? Nope. Like, they don't really.
Yeah.
I think they care, but I don't think it's their problem. It's like, you're choosing to be here. You're paying. Someone's paying for you to be here. If you don't want to do the work, it's your own choice to make.
Yeah. Let's say a college professor's probably not yanking someone's phone out of their hand.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I remember I skipped class one time and I didn't hear anything about it. And I was just like, oh, that's different. Like,
In college?
yeah.
And then you learn how much you could, because some professors are okay with it more than others, or like
Yeah.
how much you can. So like, how much can you skip and
Yeah.
still get the grade you want to get?
Yeah. Some will drop you though, quick out of nowhere, because you'll get late into the semester, and because I was classmates with this girl, she had none of her work turned in, and this was second semester or second half. It's like April. She didn't turn in any of her work, and he just looked at her and was just like, "I'm sorry, you gotta go." Like, there's nothing you can do that can make your situation in this class better.
At that point, why are you still showing up?
I don't know.
Probably push from your parents.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think that should be something that should at least start in high school, where like make students care about their grades. And I say a lot do, most do.
Well, I would say it goes a lot hand in hand with as you start to understand the consequences of your own action,
Yeah.
your own actions, because that's a big thing that Karen and I at least try to really instill in the kids. Like, every choice you make has consequences, good and bad. And if you're not going to do anything, then you're going to get bad grades.
Yeah.
Do enough. Do
Right.
something.
Like, I
We
mean,
also part like, do enough just to get the teachers happy. Just do something. Just do something. You don't have to do it all to get an A+. Just do something.
yeah. Good point. All right, that's all I have on this. We good?
That's it.
All right, well, there we have it.